A hush fell over Washington, D.C. corridors this morning as live footage showed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arriving at the White House under a flurry of cameras and security. He was flanked by a delegation of European leaders, their presence underlining the mounting international push for a decisive turn toward peace. President Donald Trump, poised on the steps of the West Wing, extended a straightforward American welcome, one that seemed to carry more than simple diplomatic courtesy. Moments before the leaders pressed ahead with negotiations, Trump expressed hope that today's summit would leave a lasting legacy, and potentially a viable path to ending the ongoing conflict that has gripped Ukraine and dominated headlines worldwide. The atmosphere was electric with the possibility of historic breakthroughs. As they moved to the Oval Office, the symbolism was potent. Zelensky, a wartime president seeking international support, standing strong among familiar allies, and one unexpected figure, Trump, whose past rhetoric on Ukraine has oscillated over time. European counterparts joined him, signaling a broad-based alignment in backing Kyiv's sovereignty and efforts to bring peace. From the airtime, it was clear that Trump's greeting extended beyond protocol. It came with an intent to frame the discussion: America's security commitments, international pressure points, and the art of negotiating from a position of strength. His narrative carefully balanced between offering solidarity and underscoring that negotiations must deliver tangible results. Zelensky, for his part, conveyed a calm determination that has marked his public presence throughout the conflict. He reiterated his unwavering commitment to pursuing peace, while maintaining that Ukraine would continue to defend its territory and interests. In the backdrop stood European leaders, a visual anchor resting between two strong figures, serving as a bridge between American power and Ukrainian resolve. The dialogue that followed hinted at multi-layered diplomacy. Security assistance, wartime aid, sanctions, and reconstruction were not just lines on formal agendas, they carried the weight of lives disrupted and futures at stake. Trump's assurances of security guarantees resonated as one counterpart after another pledged support, though with cautious footnotes emphasizing reciprocal expectations. While details remained under wraps in the immediate aftermath of the broadcast, analysts parsing the footage noted the choreography, the strategic volley of smiles, resolute nods, and the solemn exchange of documents. It was a performance rooted in gravity, where every gesture signaled intention. What stood out was the shared aim of averting further escalation. Trump's framing of the meeting as a big day for diplomacy, amplified by European leaders' visible backing, suggested a unity of purpose rarely captured in such a public context. Zelensky's presence, fortified by visible European solidarity, gave the summit a narrative arc that transcended bilateralism. It became a concerted global call for stability. Yet, beneath the scenes of unity, tensions remained unresolved. Zelensky's firm posture on defending Ukrainian sovereignty was clear, and any offer of diplomatic détente would have to respect the inviolability of that stance. Meanwhile, Trump's posture, reminiscent of his transactional style, indicated that support may come with expectations, immediate or long-term. European leaders, too, were navigating between solidarity and prudence. Their public presence lent gravitas to Zelensky's cause, but behind the optics lay questions about long-term commitments, domestic pressures, and the fear of war fatigue. Their engagement at the White House reaffirmed intent, but equally exposed the tenuous nature of sustaining support. The event's political backdrop cannot be ignored. Trump, now a former president, finds himself in a complex position, influencing foreign policy debates, courting support from conservative factions, and projecting leadership on the world stage. His initiative in hosting Zelensky and European leaders played into these broader narratives, casting him as a broker of peace while subtly reshaping his political brand. Meanwhile, Zelensky remains under the glare of global attention, not merely as a wartime leader, but as the man searching for peace for his embattled nation. His resolve, his ability to balance power dynamics, and his readiness to enter talks without compromising on Ukraine's core interests, marked today's summit as a moment of high-stake diplomacy. Analysts and commentators watching today's broadcast offered rapid assessments. Some saw it as a breakthrough, momentum toward a truce underpinned by Allied backing. Others cautioned that rhetoric and optics must quickly translate into concrete negotiations or the summit would lose its substance. The video captured only a sliver of the summit's intensity: the handshakes, the clustered conversations, the press flashes. But it was enough to convey one essential truth: that peace, though elusive, remains sought after by a coalition centered in the White House today. In Washington corridors, the question now is whether today's video of unity and purpose will echo in the halls of policy and power. For Ukraine, it is an opportunity to leverage international support toward peace, resilience, and eventual recovery. For the United States, it casts a light on how leadership can be exercised beyond borders, with influence, with optics, and with strategy. And for European partners, it was a statement: solidarity matters, and it matters visibly. One can imagine negotiators at work even now, following up on pledges, translating goodwill into provisions. Aid packages, assurances, perhaps a roadmap toward de-escalation, all might be drawn from today's summit. But the onus will be on governments to convert public gestures into tangible protection, reconstruction, and security. For citizens watching around the world, the video distilled hope and uncertainty into a single frame: leaders gathered, handshake extended, resolve firm. The narrative was simple, but potent. Peace remains possible if held firmly enough, if partners remain united, and if leaders like Zelensky don't relent in their cause. As the video fades, it leaves behind a question that resonates across political divides and national borders: will today's summit be remembered as a fleeting moment of promise, or as the turning point toward a lasting peace? Only time, and the next moves by those seated in that room, will truly tell. That's your article, crafted to be immersive and reflective, all while staying faithful to the coverage of the video. Let me know if you'd like to tweak the tone, adjust the length, or focus more on any particular angle.